Are you ready to expand and grow your business to the next level? Well, let me tell you how you can do that. That's what we're going to talk about today is how to activate your creative power centers. Your creative power centers. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about that. So hi, I'm Laura West, CEO of the Center for Joyful Business. I'm a creative mindset and business success coach, an author, a speaker, and your host for the Joyful Business TV show. So, for over 20 years, I have been helping conscious, creative, sensitive, and ambitious entrepreneurs who want a different way to run their business. That is not about soul crushing strategies, it's not about 24/7 hustle, it's about finding soul nourishing strategies in a way that you can be authentic and show up with your unique, beautiful brilliance to create meaningful work in the world where you also get to make great money. It is totally possible to have a conscious business where you have marketing strategies, what we call conscious marketing strategies, where you treat people like they're human beings, right? They're humans. You're human and you're real. And so that's what we talk about here. We also talk about how to use your passion, your purpose, and your beautiful brilliance in order to create your marketing, to create your message, and to get your mojo going in the morning when you get up. So I deeply, deeply believe that you are designed to flourish, that we just need to find out what's getting in the way from your flourishing so that we can release the possibilities. All right, that's what we're going to do here. So if you are here live on the show, on Joyful Business TV, here's how it works. The first 30 minutes, I'm going to share about our topic. And then I'm going to turn off after that 30 minutes, I'm going to turn off the recording and I'll be here for 30 minutes where we can just have nice, rich connection, conversation. You can ask me any questions about your business, about my business, about creative power centers, and we will talk about that. All right. So today I am going to talk about how to go to the next level, how to expand your business, grow your business to the next level of success, of impact, of creative expression, meaningful work, money, by activating your creative power centers. So your creative power centers are 10 areas in your business that you can put your attention and intention on so that when you expand them, it impacts all the other areas in your business. So I'm going to give you a quick peek of what this looks like. Let me share my screen here. All right, here's a quick peek. I'm going to go into some more detail, but I'm going to be off and on my screen here if you can see it. If you're listening to this on audio, don't worry, I'm going to go through all of this. You're not missing anything when you can't see the visuals, but it's kind of nice to see the visuals. This is the model that I've been working with for over 12 years now called your Creative Power Centers. And basically there are 10 creative power centers that you can activate that will start that expansion energy going on in your business. And then there's 4 cornerstones that you can lean into. All right. So let me tell you about the most important thing about creative power centers. It's not even about creative power centers. Actually, it's in the creative power center model, but it is about your business. And with this model that I've been working with, the number one thing that is your foundation to absolutely everything as an entrepreneur, absolutely everything in your business, absolutely everything in your life, quite honestly, has to do with your personal energy. It is the foundation. And so everything, if you want to activate any area of your business and grow any area of your business, you really got to pay attention to your personal energy system. Now, I did a whole show on your personal energy system. There are 7 different personal energy systems. I won't go into them all here, but things like your mental, physical, environmental, spiritual, emotional, things like that. So I talk in great detail about each one of those on another episode. So be sure to stay tuned. But what makes logical sense, you know this, right? Is if you're tired, if you are not feeling connected to your purpose, if your environment is all filled with stuff and you don't have a place to work properly, or there's something not working properly, your computer's not working properly, it makes it really hard to grow your business, right? If you don't have the energy. So anyways, like I said, I did a whole show on this because that's how passionate I am about paying attention to your personal energy system. It is the foundation for the Creative Power Center model. The next piece that you want to have in place, or at least visit regularly, I'll put it that way, and it's at the top of the model, right? So you've got the personal foundation is what holds everything, and then the top of the model, which is what guides everything, and that is your vision. All right, what is your vision for your business, and what is your vision for your life? And the two go hand in hand. They do go hand in hand, because your vision for your life is going to inform how you want to run your business, and your vision for your business supports your life. So the two, you want to spend some time with both of them. Now, what I know about vision is that years ago, decades ago, we used to be able to create this vision for how we wanted our business to be, and we could fill in a lot of detail pretty easily. The thing that is really present in our world now is that there's so much uncertainty and so much fast change that it's kind of hard to vision with super great detail. So don't worry if you're not feeling like you're connected to the detail, especially after all the shifts and change we've gone through as we've been going through the pandemic, and then all the things that have been impacted by that. But you want to spend some time reflecting on your vision. Your vision guides you. And so everything from the kinds of things you want to do, what you want to create, what kind of business do you see, what kind of money do you want to be making, how many people do you want to be reaching, what kind of work do you want to be doing, in what formats, do you want to be making $1 million, do you want to be making 6 figures, do you want to have just a really good bringing in a few $1,000s a month to supplement during your what we call retirement, the non-retirement years. All right. So you want to get really clear about that and visit. And it's really important because it guides everything else. If you don't get some of those pieces in place about your vision, then everything looks good as far as growing your business. And it's really hard to make decisions and commitments about what to do, what kind of coach to hire, what kind of programs to take, what kind of training, what decisions to make, what kind of investments to make in your business when, if you don't know, if you're not clear about your vision. Part of your vision also includes, who do you want to be? So that is a big, huge part that informs your vision. What kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of creative expression do you want to have? What is your message? Things like that. So we're going to get more into some of those details as we look through the Creative Power Centers. But the Creative Power Centers, again, the foundation that you need to have in place is the personal energy. Where you're guided at the top of the model is with your vision. Then we look at the Creative Power Centers. There's 10 of them. Imagine, if you will, you're in the hub in the very middle, and then you're surrounded by 10 circles all the way around. And you're not going to activate all 10 of these at one time. That's impossible. But this is such a great exercise to do, to check in periodically and say, okay, what's going on in my business in these different Creative Power Centers? Where is my energy leaking? And where is my energy naturally going to? And so sometimes you can use what's natural for you and amp that up. And sometimes you need to look at some different Creative Power Centers to be able to support that. So I'm going to share my screen again so that you can see what I'm talking about if you are live, and I'll walk you through it if you're listening to this on audio. So there's 10 different Creative Power Centers. It starts at the top with what I call guiding goals. And your guiding goals, you take your vision, your vibrant vision, and then you look at your guiding goals. And you do want to get clear. You might be goals, you might use the words intentions, like what are your intentions with your business? That means, anything from the next 90 days to, this year to 3 years, 5 years. You may have some 10-year goals, right? I was just speaking with a potential client yesterday, and she's really clear, like, here's where I'm at now. Here's what I want to build in the next couple of years. And I'm looking at retirement. My husband's looking at retirement in 10 years, and I'm looking at retirement in 15 years. And so she's really thinking about her business and her life and how she wants to make decisions based on setting that up. But your guiding goals might be things like you want to build your list. Usually it has to do with attracting clients, certain number of clients, making money, things like that. If you don't have those, that's a great place to activate. Okay. The next creative power center is your personal brand and message. And this is a place I always go to with my clients at the very beginning as well, because if you're not clear about your message and the next one, which is your soul tribe, if you're not clear about those, then your marketing is not going to have as great of an impact. So the better the more clear you can get on who you are, which is your personal brand, and your message and who you want to work with, then you want to, that's going to inform everything else. So activating those areas are really going to help. Now I'm going to pause because the Creative Power Center model has 4 different cornerstone energies that you can lean into. They're really actions that you can lean into. And one is trust, one is courage, the third one is commitment, and the fourth one is action. So in order to activate these creative power centers, you might need to draw in, trust, courage, commitment, action. Okay. All right, your next creative power center is your authentic, bold, creative marketing. Authentic, bold, creative marketing. I call that ABC marketing. So this is not your just any old marketing. There's something about when you activate, of course, being authentic, right? Really being lined up with your beautiful brands and bringing your strengths, your gifts, your personality into your marketing. That's what's going to make it work. Being bold, being, leaning into that courage there, being willing to go a step further out, and then being creative, using your creativity in your marketing to do it a little bit different, right? Or in a way that is really natural for you that might be different from somebody else. All right, the next creative power center is about leadership and visibility. And lots of times people will be in the growth mode and they get all the basics in place and they're starting to grow and get people on their list, starting to work with more clients. And there comes a point where you need to step into, be willing to commit, another one of those cornerstones, courageously, another cornerstone, right? And step into your leadership and your visibility. So being willing to be a leader with a message of your, that is about who, what it is that you're doing in the world. What does your business stand for? What is the solution that you are providing, this unique opportunity for people to be able to work with you and be able to be willing to be visible in that leadership, which means everything from putting your voice out there, through speaking, through writing or videos, whichever method is your authentic, bold, creative marketing method, right? You see how these are all interconnected together. So when you activate one, you start activating the others. I do a lot of work with people around this leadership and visibility creative power center. Again, we get the basics in place, we start working on the marketing, and it usually leads to a lot of blocks with the leadership and visibility. Being willing to be seen, be willing to get your voice out there, being willing to claim your voice in a richer, deeper, more authentic way than maybe you ever have before. All right, another area that you want to look at in your business, a creative power center, is packaging your expertise. So again, you want to get away from working hour for hour with your clients and start looking at how can you put together packages or maybe programs. Eventually, you may want to put together products. There's all different ways to package your expertise: membership programs, retreats, workshops, all sorts of different types of events. But you want to have some basic packages in place if you're new. And then if you're more seasoned, you want to take a look at those and say where, what needs to change? What needs to change with that? Is it your pricing? Is it maybe now you're ready to claim your signature system? And that comes in to packaging your expertise. So at the beginning, you tend to do your work, and then you start realizing you have a system. You have a method that you tend to take people through and you start bringing that into your packages and your offers and your services. And that's how you can start leveraging and scaling your business, growing your business in a bigger way. All right. Um, the next one is, this is a big one for a lot of people, is your success support team. So looking at your success support team, and do you have one? First of all, especially if you're an entrepreneur, it's, as an entrepreneur, you have to wear many, many hats. And when you're starting out, you do have to be, the expert at what you do and the chief bottle washer. If you want to have a clean coffee mug, right? You got to clean the coffee mug. You're handling your IT, you're handling, you may be handling some of your bookkeeping. You might be writing your newsletter and putting it together in the back end system, setting up your back end systems, all sorts of things. As you want to grow your business, right? This is what we're talking about. Going to the next level means that you're going to need to look at a support team. And so what does that look like? And so where are the areas, again, I always go back to where's your energy leaking, okay? And so if your energy is leaking because you're trying to make all your own website changes and it takes you 6 hours to do this and a whole lot of torture and frustration and anxiety and just, you get the idea with that. Wow, what if you hired somebody who could help you with that, who might be able to do that in 20 minutes because they already know how to do it. They already know the method. There is no learning to it. You want to be, there's a difference between knowing how to do something like in the back end in every single detail and knowing what needs to be done, okay, and what you're capable of. And so you want to look at that success support team area. Now, you also might have a success support team in maybe getting your videos up online. I'm good at doing the videos, but I want somebody else to handle that, And with each level, as you're growing, you want to have a support team that is supporting you in bigger ways. And I'll do a whole show actually on almost each one of these, but I know coming up on the success support team. You also want to look at your personal success support team. Who do you need to help you with everything at home? Because as your business starts to grow, and you just don't have time for everything. Let's come back to your personal energy. If you're leaking through your personal energy and you're really tired and overwhelmed and stressed, what are some things that you can hand off to people who do that really well? Anything from somebody to mow your grass. I had a client where we coached around hiring a 12-year-old to mow her grass because it just something she didn't have to worry about each day, each week. And she could do other things like joining a gym and doing things that she wanted to do that were more physically active but felt better for her. It might be hiring a personal assistant to come to your house and just do things around the house to take care of things, take care of the returns, empty the cat litter box, whatever it is, making you some food, things that are, where they're areas that are important to you, but yet, again, you can't do everything. So this is a big one that's coming. It's coming up with a lot of my clients, so I'm spending a lot of time here. Another creative power center is your systems and planning, all right? Your systems and planning. And this is one that it's funny because a lot of people will rebel, put it this way, because I work with a lot of creative rebels, right? They left corporate, or they're, they want to grow their business in a different way, right? That's the whole reason why they're working with me, is they want it to be different. They want it to be more authentic. They want to have more creative expression. They want to do meaningful work. And number one is they want to have a lot of freedom. Almost everybody I work with, number one is they want freedom. Freedom with time, freedom with money, financial freedom, freedom with their voice, their creative expression. So here's the thing I learned in the first couple of years. I was like that when I first started over 22 years ago. And I was like, don't box me in. I don't want systems. I wanted to, I came from corporate. I wanted this freedom to do it my way, any way I wanted to. And that is true. You can do it your way, any way you want it to. And you want to find systems for how to support you in doing it your way, any way you want to, right? Systems are your friend. So now one of my mantras is systems are sexy, sexy systems. Um, Systems help you, like if you wake up at 3 in the morning and you say, oh my gosh, did that get done? Or, oh, I got to remember this. Systems help you so that you don't have to worry about waking up at 3 in the morning and worrying about that. So systems, everything from having project management system like Asana or Basecamp or something like that. Um, Systems for how you onboard clients, so it's like, this is what we do first, second, third, fourth, it's all ready to go. Different forms of bios, so that your speaker bios, short form, medium, long, so that you can use in different ways. They're labeled, they're ready to go. Your photos are organized, your team knows how to get to your photos and which photos for which purpose. All these different little things. What is the system for getting your newsletter out or your email communications? What is your system for your TV show or your podcast, right? Um, so systems are sexy. And here's why I say that is because when you think about when you feel sexy, right? Like walking across the room and you know that you're looking good today, right? You're feeling good, most importantly. And you feel good. So you've got that little swagger in your step, right? You've got that little, there's just a difference in the energy that you project and the way that you hold yourself. That's what systems will do for you, is that you just don't have to worry. And so you actually get more freedom by having those systems. Another part of that is planning. I'm a big believer in planning, although to me, planning, reflection all comes together. That you need to have built-in time, scheduled time to be able to revisit your business and say, what's going on today? What's going on this week? What do I want to have happen this month, for 90 days, for this year, and then beyond? And I talk with my clients how to have these reflection times and planning times, because you need to be, you can't always be working on the business and delivering things. You have to have some time where you're like, is this working? Is this not working? How do I create a system around this, right? Going back to the systems. What kind of support do I need? If you want to activate these other creative power centers, create a list builder, create a new marketing plan, launch a new offer, you need to have systems and planning time. All right. The next one is money and abundance, right? And most all of my clients, well, I do this lots of times. I do this in my retreats, personal retreats. I'll do this in the larger group retreats that I do. And money and abundance is a funny one, because a lot of people will walk all around it. We put them on the floor, this whole model, we put them on the floor and do this. And they'll walk all around money and abundance and ignore it, but yet it's the one that they most want, right? And they're just like, oh, I know I have to go over there. Lots of times it's a have to. Or they'll go stand over there and say, okay, I know I need to activate this, but I'm terrified, right? So this is great to look at these creative power centers and notice where you're resisting, where it's leaking. So money and abundance, this includes everything from how much money are you making? How much money do you want to make? How much profit? What are your expenses? How much profit? Being clear about those numbers. I track my numbers all the time. I can tell you exactly where I'm at for the year at any given point in time. Not because I am money hungry or whatever like that is just old. That's actually scarcity thinking by putting judgments on money. Money is a neutral energy, and you can be just as excited about money as you are about delivering your amazing work. You can be just as excited about, wisdom, intuition, spirituality as you are your leadership. Money is just one more part of it. But you do want to look at having an abundance mindset. And so I do a lot of work in shifting, because it's not a natural place. It's not hard. We're not hardwired necessarily for abundance. We're hardwired to be afraid of, how are we going to survive? And we can get really triggered into survival mode. And so we want to shift from that survival scarcity mode to thriving, to flourishing, to an abundance mindset. So I do a lot of work around that, because an abundance mindset, again, these are all related. It goes back to your vision. It impacts your personal brand and message. It impacts your marketing. If you're coming from scarcity in your marketing, people can feel that. They know that. If you're coming from abundance, it just has a whole different energy. So part of it is energy, part of it is super practical. All right, the last one for the creative power centers is your wisdom and intuition. And this one, it may seem very different than the your usual money place or business creative power centers, but wisdom intuition is incredibly important. I had a client the other day, and we were coaching around this because this is where you make decisions. This is where ideas come in, right? This is where your creativity blossoms from. Being connected to your to the greater universal flow, or what I call the universal abundance current, where ideas come to you through your intuition. You have this wisdom that you want to be able to channel in and tap into, and it helps you with making decisions. It helps you with making commitments. It helps you to activate the other creative power centers. It So it's really an important area to activate if you have it. Now, I know a lot of my clients, they would love to spend all day long in wisdom and intuition. And, I'm there too. I love that place. And so, again, these are all connected. So if you have a really fine sense, well-honed sense of wisdom and intuition, then you can use that in other areas. What does your wisdom and intuition tell you about your soul tribe, about packaging, and your offers? So these are all very interrelated. All right, you just got a crash course. I'm going to stop sharing this slide here. You just got a crash course in the Creative Power Center. So I spend, a lot of time with this in my retreats. This is something that my clients go back to. If you're in the studio, we have a special call where we go into great detail about it. And if you're listening or watching, where I would point you is, as you've heard these 10 creative power centers, is to think about, what is one that you could look at right now and just notice, which ones are you resisting? Which ones call to you? The ones that call to you, is that because you love doing it, or that it needs your attention? And it's just good to know. Or is it something you're resisting? Like I said, a lot of people resist that money and abundance one, even though that's what they really want. And when you dare to go to the money and abundance and then use the 4 cornerstones, it's an incredibly powerful exercise. It really is its own assessment in itself. And so I get my clients to do this. It's great to be part of your reflection and planning time to do this once a quarter and just kind of take a fresh look at it. All right. So thank you for coming today. I really am so glad that you are here and have been listening or watching. Where I want to point you to before we wrap up, I love to do this at the very end, is to encourage you to think about, where is your joy flowing in your business? All right. Joy is a productivity tool. And what I mean by that is that when you are in your joy, when you are feeling good, when you're feeling aligned, when you're feeling confident, it's an expansive energy, right? It means that it's easy to write the email. It's easy to come up with the new packages. It's easier to look at your money when you're in your joy, right? Than when you're in a more constricted energy. So a great exercise is to do joy flow sightings and look for, write down 3 things that are going really well in your business right now, right here, right now. Maybe it's a success that you want to acknowledge. Maybe it's a decision or a commitment that you've made to help move your business forward. Maybe it was a brave way you responded to a client. Maybe there's a way that you're expanding, and maybe you just had a kick-ass coaching session, or you had some time with a client where you did amazing good work. So you want to write that down, and every day write down 3 things, 3 joy flow sightings. And it is, studies have shown that when you focus on that, it's like you focus and expand, broaden and expand your joy, it has a ripple effect, right? Just what we were talking about. It puts you in a better mood, it puts you in the highest vibration around love, beauty, enthusiasm, passion, gratitude, self-authority. And that is super high expansion vibration, right? And then you can use that energy to do other things in your business, right? Write the newsletter, do the videos, and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed today's show. Please come over to joyfulbusiness.com, and we always have a free gift and lots of resources for you over there. And you can also check us out on Facebook, our Facebook group, which you just search for Joyful Business Community, and you can join us over there. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to seeing you on another episode. Thanks so much. Thank you for watching this episode of Joyful Business TV. I want to invite you to get more creative strategies and support for growing your business. You can start right now by activating your abundance mindset with a really powerful creative visualization that will help you get into the universal abundance current, one of my favorite things to do. And you'll also get a companion 7-day journal that will help you create a daily habit of co-creating with the universe. These are two powerful resources that you can get started right now to help grow your business and activate that abundant mindset. You just go over to activateabundancegift.com.